Hello and welcome, my name is Reese and today I'm going to be speaking to you about one of our channel partners, BITDEFENDER. Forever Motorsports is proudly supported by BITDEFENDER, one of the global leaders in cybersecurity. Stay safe with the most consistently top-rated antivirus of the last 10 years and counting. To protect yourself from cyber attacks, protect your browsing and personal information, and so much more, get BITDEFENDER. With BITDEFENDER's premium VPN, digital privacy and freedom is as easy as flicking on a light switch. Bank, stream, and download without exposing a single byte of personal information. Unblock your favorite streaming sites and get access to content that you want to watch on up to 10 devices today. Effective, invisible, and amazingly affordable. Use the link in the description to get started.
Hello and welcome to Forever Motorsports for some huge news. The FI have officially released the one.
Hello and welcome, my name is Reese and today I'm going to be speaking to you about one of our channel partners, BITDEFENDER. Forever Motorsports is proudly supported by BITDEFENDER, one of the global leaders in cybersecurity. Stay safe with the most consistently top-rated antivirus of the last 10 years and counting. To protect yourself from cyber attacks, protect your browsing and personal information, and so much more, get BITDEFENDER. With BITDEFENDER's premium VPN, digital privacy and freedom is as easy as flicking on a light switch. Bank, stream, and download without exposing a single byte of personal information. Unblock your favorite streaming sites and get access to content that you want to watch on up to 10 devices today. Effective, invisible, and amazingly affordable. Use the link in the description to get started.
Hello and welcome to Forever Motorsports for some huge news. The FI have officially released unveiled the regulations for 2026 and beyond, which features more agile cars and active aerodynamics. In their words, not mine. They expect the cars to get smaller, faster, more overtaking, more sustainable. That is the plan with the new regulations, which will come into effect in 2026. So one more year before we really see it come into effect, but expect to see a very significant shift in how we know Formula One, and hopefully we'll solve a lot of the issues we're seeing in Formula One, especially with regards to the lack of competitiveness and the lack of overtaking we've seen in the last couple of races. For example, Monaco, where basically the grid almost finished exactly how it started. Before we get into exactly what the regulations are and what the changes are, please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Right, so we knew that the power units were obviously going to change. That was released a couple of years ago, but the F1 Formula One governing body, FIA, has officially unveiled the more regulations and sort of the full regulation of what's going to change. It still needs to be ratified and voted on by the World Motorsport Council, which will take place on 28th of June, but you can't expect it to go through. The basic summary is as follows. More agile cars, and they're going to be made lighter by 50 kgs. They're going to be feature a redesigned power unit, which is going to increase the battery power. And there's going to be an even split between internal combustion engine and the electric power, and 100% use of sustainable fuels. A very important thing, when you think about how maybe, environmentally unfriendly Formula One is with regards to fossil fuels, the travel, for example. And they've had a very big shift to try and make it as sustainable as possible so we can continue to enjoy the sport whilst it doesn't wreck the environment. And credit to them, they put their hands up and they very much acknowledge that they have to adapt and they have to change things. And they are taking steps forward. Another very cool idea is active aerodynamics, which will incorporate a movable front and rear wing, which will allow for closer racing, apparently. They're going to be looking at increased overtaking opportunities through the introduction of a new similar sort of thing to a DRS, a system which will give the driver a short burst of additional power if they are within 1 second of the car in front of them. Also, very importantly, with these changes, that they are making more robust rules with regards to safety and then yeah, with the sort of the sustainable issues over there. So basically, the FIA single-seat technical director, Nicholas Tombazis, has said as follows with regards to the regulations. He says, with this set of regulations, the FIA has sought to develop a new generation of cars that are fully in touch with the DNA of Formula One. Cars that are light, supremely fast and agile, but which also remains at the cutting edge of technology. And to achieve this, we have worked towards what we call a nimble car concept. So looking for a car which is a bit smaller and a bit more nimble in and around the track to provide more opportunities to overtake and the likes. In terms of the FIA president, Mohammed Ben Sulayman, saying today the FIA is defining a hugely exciting future for the pinnacle of motorsport with the launch of a new set of regulations for the 2026 FIA Formula One Championship and beyond. Let's go through some of the various changes, shall we? So in terms of the power units, obviously they are set to deliver more power. The hybrid unit has dropped from 550 to 560 kilowatts to 400 kilowatts. However, the battery has risen significantly from 120 kilowatts to 350, which is an almost 300% increase in electric power. Yeah, there'll be less from the sort of the combustion, but far more from the battery itself. So the amount of energy that can be recuperated during the braking phase is doubled per lap. The new regulations has also led to commitments from existing suppliers, so a record 6 companies which will be doing power units. It'll include Ferrari, Mercedes, and Renault, and it's also enticed apparently Honda to return, and then obviously Audi and Ford will also be doing power units through a partnership with the Red Bull powertrain. So in terms of the actual car design, cars are going to be lighter and smaller. So with regards to the weight, there's going to be 30 kgs shed potentially. 2026 cars are going to have a minimum weight of 768 kgs compared to the 798 kgs, which is where it is currently and has been the case since 2022. In terms of the wheelbase, it has been reduced by 200 millimeters to 3,400 millimeters, while the width has been cut from 100 millimeters but cut by 100 millimeters to 1900. So they have reduced the both the width and the sort of the length of the wheelbase itself. Apparently, they say that the downforce as a result has been reduced by 30% and drag has been reduced by 55%. The 18-inch wheel size will remain, but the width of the tires will be reduced by 25 mils and the rears by 30 mils. Compared to the current generation of cars. In terms of the other sort of the aerodynamic innovations, this is where it obviously gets quite interesting. So it says that the FIA says the 2026 cars will be switchable between 2 configurations. One that will minimize fuel consumption, and the other one which will maximize corner performance. The active aerodynamics will involve a movable rear wing and a movable front wing, so to try and sort of get the best as we go. So you can kind of have different configurations depending on where you are on the track and stuff like that. The idea is that this will enable more greater cornering speeds and more sort of straight line speed as well. So you don't have to necessarily like, okay, cool, this track's got a lot of different corners and a very tough cornering track, therefore we need to sort of set that up the car like that. You can basically, your car will be able to do both. You'll be able to corner quickly as well as get that straight line speed. You don't have to compromise one for the other. The idea is also you're going to get that 1 second. If you're within 1 second of a car, you will get a sort of a boost from the power unit itself. Apparently, that's going to be similar to sort of the DRS idea. There'll be specific zones where that will potentially kick in. Once again, there is another overtaking aid that has been added to the regulations. And then just very quickly, they've talked about the push for greater safety. So they've introduced a 2-stage nose design, which is basically to stop things flying off. And they've also done a look at the protection around the driver and the fuel cell area, and basically just making the cars a bit safer. And then finally, the big thing is over there is that it says the Formula One power units are already the most efficient in the world. The F1 and FIA's pursuit of reaching net zero carbon by 2030. The 2026 power units will run on fully sustainable fuels. So no more fossil fuels, basically, is the plan. More electric power, basically. So it'll be a shift towards 50% electric and 50% thermal power distribution. That's a lot to get through. That's a lot to try and comprehend. We'll have to wait and see what this looks like. But basically, the summary is cars that can adapt to corners and straights. So you're not gonna you don't just screw your front wing in, adjust and say right, that's the position. They will be able to sort of change. Basically, they're going to be active based. The car's going to be slightly smaller. The wheels are going to be slightly smaller. The car's going to be lighter, and they're going to be set up more for more opportunities to overtake. So the idea is to get back to racing. I think that's the biggest takeaway, is that they are trying to get these cars back to being, wheel-to-wheel racing, competitive, trying reducing the massive difference we're seeing from, a Kick-Sauber and a Red Bull, the likes of that. To try and, all these regulations come in to try and sort of make it more competitive. We want to basically see a field where, there can potentially be 10 winners in the day, and not just, 3-4 cars who are really going to contend. Let me know if you think it's going to make any difference. Which of these regulations excites you? Let me know down in the comments below. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steve. I'll chat to you soon.
There was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from across the room. Damn, what a hell of a view. I feel good, you look great. I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date. You're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight. Don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase. So catch me if I fall. Praying that this night's gonna last. You got it all on tap. I'm loving your vibe, always have your back. We like all the same tracks. Listen all night in the sheets all black. Said I'm falling fast. Don't remember life before you, that's facts. I feel good, you look great. I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date. You're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight. Don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase. So catch me if I fall.
Hello and welcome, my name is Reese and today I'm going to be speaking to you about one of our channel partners, BITDEFENDER. Forever Motorsports is proudly supported by BITDEFENDER, one of the global leaders in cybersecurity. Stay safe with the most consistently top-rated antivirus of the last 10 years and counting. To protect yourself from cyber attacks, protect your browsing and personal information, and so much more, get BITDEFENDER. With BITDEFENDER's premium VPN, digital privacy and freedom is as easy as flicking on a light switch. Bank, stream, and download without exposing a single byte of personal information. Unblock your favorite streaming sites and get access to content that you want to watch on up to 10 devices today. Effective, invisible, and amazingly affordable. Use the link in the description to get started. Hello and welcome, my name is Reese and today I'm going to be speaking to you about one of our channel partners, BITDEFENDER. Forever Sports is proudly supported by BITDEFENDER, one of the global leaders in cybersecurity. Stay safe with the most consistently top-rated antivirus of the last 10 years and counting. To protect yourself from cyber attacks, protect your browsing and personal information, and so much more, get BITDEFENDER. With BITDEFENDER's premium VPN, digital privacy and freedom is as easy as flicking on a light switch. Bank, stream, and download without exposing a single byte of personal information. Unblock your favorite streaming sites and get access to content that you want to watch on up to 10 devices today. Effective, invisible, and amazingly affordable. Use the link in the description to get started.
Hello and welcome, everybody. It is race weekend, and there are 2 races this weekend, so it's a really is a race weekend. We are in Austria for the Formula 1 Sprint race, which starts in 6 minutes on my watch, 5 minutes on my PC. Either way, within 7 minutes, we will have a racing action. Welcome to the stream. We are in, as I mentioned, Austria. This is the Red Bull Ring. And we have got the sprint race starting very, very shortly. So settle in and let's give it some action, shall we? Max Verstappen on pole, shock and horror. He has more poles in sprint races than the rest of the grid combined. He's also won the most sprint races of the entire grid, shock and horror. But we are going to see a very interesting race because if we look to the qualifying, for example, these teams only doing 1 lap. So whilst Max Verstappen does start on pole, if we look at it, for example, was only on pole by, I think, like 0.5 of a second or whatever it was. And that was in 1 lap. So I think we're going to actually have a decent sprint race coming up. It is going to be, I believe, 24 laps. So it's obviously nice and short. It's about less than half an hour. And it's going to be, I think it's going to be an interesting one, to be honest. I think that we are looking at a season where Red Bull no longer remain as dominant as they have been before. Max Verstappen is dominant. Red Bull themselves, not as dominant. You got Sergio Perez, who is starting down in 7th place. You've got the 2 McLarens right behind Verstappen at 2nd and 3rd. You've got George Russell in 4th, Carlos Sainz starting 5th, Lewis Hamilton at 6th, Sergio Perez 7, Ocon and Gasly 8, 9, and Charles Leclerc, who didn't set a lap in the final qualifying station yesterday, down in 10th. So we actually don't know what kind of pace Charles Leclerc might actually have. That was a classic Ferrari type of vibe where they basically wait until the final 3 minutes of qualifying, and then as they're about to get going, he just didn't start, like his car and cheers, and actually didn't get out and managed to set a lap. So that's about that sums up how things going for Ferrari as well. So welcome to the sprint race, everybody. We're going to the comments over here. Hello, Anna. Hello, Tia. Hello, Ndira. Always nice to have our usuals. Ndira, Old Man Rui, TCC, always keep me company in the comments. Let me know where you're watching from and who you're supporting. There, Puzzle coming from Cape Town. Welcome to from the Kaapstad over here. We have going to have lights out and away we go in just a few minutes. I want your predictions. Who's going to take in this race? At the moment, everybody reckons Max Verstappen. 20% reckon Lando Norris does have a chance. So we'll have to wait and see, won't we? It is an interesting weekend because things are starting to change a little bit on the standings. You've got Lando Norris, who is currently sitting in 2nd place in the Drivers' Championship. He's overtaken Charles Leclerc, who, as I mentioned, starts at 10th. So if you're a Ferrari fan, not ideal at the moment. It really isn't. We are battling, to be perfectly honest. But if you're a McLaren fan, well, things continue to go well as we look on the track over there. The 2 Saubers, they're right at the back of the grid, followed by a Haas and then a Visa Cash App RB of Danny Ricciardo. It's not an ideal weekend so far, as I mentioned, for Ferrari. I think McLaren so far having the best weekend, followed probably by Red Bull having Max Verstappen on pole. But at the same time, Sergio Perez continues to struggle. But Mercedes once again looks very quick. And as I said yesterday, it was difficult to really sort of go on yesterday with regards to who was quick and stuff like that because we only did 1 lap in the final qualifying session. So whether the Red Bull is genuinely quicker or Max Verstappen's Red Bull is genuinely quicker, the fact that we actually have to even have to say that is interesting because we do have to say, Max Verstappen's Red Bull, because I think that the Red Bull in general is not as quick. If you look at Sergio Perez's performance, I think that Max Verstappen in the Red Bull is very quick. So Esteban Ocon and Sergio Perez in the 7th and 8th, then Sainz and Hamilton, we're looking at the grid over here. Sainz starting in 5th place. He'll harbor all of the hopes of the Ferraris, whilst I think that Charles Leclerc should be able to get past the 2 Alpines. I'd be very surprised if he can do much more than that unless he gets off to a really good start. And in the front of the grid, it is Max Verstappen and Lando Norris, 104.686, 104.779. So is this actually now the new Formula 1 rivalry that we are getting between Max Verstappen and Lando Norris? Has Charles Leclerc, for example, just kind of dropped away for the time being because of a mixture of poor performances from him as well as poor performances from Ferrari in general? So it's not been ideal. The covers are coming off the tires. We will have a formation lap very, very soon. And then we have got 24 laps of non-stop action. It is the sprint tomorrow. We will have a feature race. At the moment, conditions on track, pretty favorable. Air temperature is 28.4 degrees. Track temperature at 42.8 degrees. There is a slight gust, but nothing too windy. No rain as well forecasted for the weekend. So that side of things, all good. So hopefully we can get a really, really cool race over there. Max Verstappen is starting on some softs. I'm seeing some mediums on the McLaren of Oscar Piastri, mediums on Lando Norris from the looks of it, as well as I think the two Mercedes potentially. I could be wrong. We'll confirm that very, very shortly. The layout reckons they're all on mediums. I'm sure it looked like it was a set of softs on Max Verstappen. Right, so in terms of points on display over here, 8 points for first, 7 points for second, 6 points for third, and fourth to eighth getting 5 to 1 points. So you have to finish top 8 to score points in a sprint race. As we do get going on the formation lap, once again, last opportunity now to get your predictions in. What are we thinking here? Who are we feeling over here? You know, as a McLaren fan, do you reckon that Lando Norris could yet contend with Max Verstappen? As a Ferrari fan, how quickly do you reckon Charles Leclerc, for example, could try and catch up and try and get into the mix? Could Carlos Sainz get up to a good start? Or what are we thinking over here? Personally, as a Ferrari fan, I'm not particularly confident, but we shall wait and see, shall we? Yeah, I think it's things are not going well for Ferrari. They need to start showing something. Old Fred looking a little bit not very happy with life. I wouldn't get very happy with life managing this shit show of a team. But what can you do? What can you do? We remain the iconic Formula One team that continues to underperform. McLaren remain the iconic Formula One team that are coming back into things. So we'll have to wait and see how things go. Obviously, Lando Norris last week not doing very well from the start. In fact, George Russell went from third to first last week. So, yeah, and important for the McLarens to get off to a good start because they are sitting in 2 and 3. So if Lando Norris can get ahead of Verstappen in that start, for example, then he can definitely contend with Oscar Piastri in and around the mix as well. Then we will have, as mentioned, George Russell, Carlos Sainz, Lewis Hamilton, Sergio Perez, Esteban Ocon rounding up that top 8. So those are the drivers who start in the points. So as we sort of coming around that corner over here, Max Verstappen just sort of backing up the grid. Right, there we go. We do have Max Verstappen starting in, so the rest of the cars now starting to join the grid. Let's get ready for what is hopefully going to be a very interesting sprint race. Right, everybody's in ready, and we are ready at the end. So the lights about to start going off. We've got the green flag at the back. Max Verstappen on pole here. Lando Norris next to him. Never mind. Never mind. It's an aborted start. We're going to have an extra formation lap. So ready. I was so ready for it. I was like geared and I was like ready to get going. And now we've got start aborted, extra formation lap. Yeah, well, we'll try and find out exactly what happened over there. We haven't had an aborted start. So not entirely sure what the issue is, but we'll try and find out. But we have an aborted start, and therefore we're going on an extra formation lap. All right, so another opportunity here for the drivers to get around, warm those tires up a little bit more. We'll try and wait and find out exactly why we've got an aborted start. Doesn't really make sense. Nothing really seemed to be happening over here. Yeah, I personally have never actually seen that really in a water start here. So we've got an extra formation lap. So Max Verstappen is leading the field around one more lap. Everybody looks very confused in the pits. Not overly surprising, to be fair. So we're waiting to find out exactly why. But yeah, that's there you go. Early drama here in Austria. Right, as Max Verstappen now comes around that final corner before we hopefully get things back underway. Right, now everybody else sliding back into the grid. So let's try this again, shall we? Right, so Jogo and you come around the corner to join at the back of the grid here. Let's have another opportunity to get the start going. Right, once again, everybody is back in position, and we will hopefully have the start of the Formula 1 sprint race. You've got a green flag there from one of the marshals. Right, here we go. Right, lights on, away we go. Verstappen gets off very well, as does Oscar Piastri. He's coming down the side of his teammate. The Ferrari of Carlos Sainz looking pretty good as well. So Carlos Sainz trying to get into fourth place there, right on the end of George Russell. The two McLarens got off well, but Verstappen's right up at the front there. We've then got Oscar Piastri coming down the inside of Lando Norris. And the Ferrari going around the George Russell, which almost allows Max Verstappen. Now you've got the Ferrari over Charles Leclerc, looks very good. He's out up against Perez. So Charles Leclerc already up into 8th place. The McLaren's right up against each other, as is the Ferrari of Carlos Sainz trying to get around. George Russell, can he get around? He does get around. He is into 4th place. Good stuff there from Carlos Sainz. And Charles Leclerc comes to the inside of Sergio Perez. Well, he started 10th. He's up into 7th. What a start this is for the Ferraris. Ahead of the Mercedes. Come on, 3 places already has Carlos Sainz. Kevin Magnussen, by the way, also came up to a good start. He's up 2 places. Max Verstappen already got a bit of a gap over there, but the 2 Ferraris on either side of the Mercedes, and Charles Leclerc starting to close in on those Ferraris as we come through that first lap. Oh, there we go. So the Ferrari's off to a good start there. The Haas as well. Not a great start for the Alpines. And Lance Stroll is our position to 11th place. You can Hulkenberg as well, up a couple of positions. So the Haas off to a decent start. Carlos Sainz up to 1 position. But Charles Leclerc, what a start it is for him. He's up 3 positions already. So a great opportunity there. By the way, we have lost a lap with that aborted start. So we are not going to have a 23-lap race, not a 24-lap race. Max Verstappen already almost opening up a half a second gap between him and the McLarens. And speaking of a bit of a gap, not much of a gap between Carlos Sainz and Oscar Piastri. Hopefully the Ferrari can try and get into striking distance, get himself into that sort of podium position. There we've got the Lance Stroll, I think, going through over there. Very nice move there from the Aston Martin. So Lance Stroll into 10th place. Well, Leclerc is into the points, which is the main thing. He started at 10th, now up until 7th. Now can we see Carlos Sainz try and rein in the 2 McLarens? Lando Norris sitting at fastest first 2 sectors. Holding on to Max Verstappen. Then a bit of a gap between him and Piastri. Yeah, the fastest lap there for Lando Norris. So he's, I'll tell you what, he's coming right behind the side of Max Verstappen, and Oscar Piastri also not particularly far behind him, so got a bit of a race at the top there. You can see a bit of a gap between Piastri and Sainz all of a sudden. And there goes Lando Norris. Max Verstappen just defend, goes wide. Norris not coming down the inside. Norris right up behind him. Oscar Piastri trying to hold on to those 2 as well. Lando Norris has to be careful over here because Oscar Piastri is bearing down on him. Yeah, McLaren's both got DRS here as well. So Max Verstappen under a bit of pressure. Holding on at the moment. Almost opening up that second gap, but we're still at the moment 700 of a second. Now, here we go. He will have DRS down the main straight here. Riding on board now with Max Verstappen, looking at those two McLarens behind him who are hanging on at the moment. Lando Norris very much contending with Max Verstappen, looking to try and come up to him as well now. Coming on the inside is Lando Norris. Having a look. He's right behind Max Verstappen. He does go on the outside here. Max Verstappen does move wide once again. We've seen that happen now. Second time there in 2 laps on that fourth corner. Norris is having a look here. Verstappen's doing a lot of defending early on here. Charles Leclerc, by the way, has dropped a little bit back behind Hamilton. He's got Sergio Perez bearing down on him. Russell behind Sainz. Bit of a gap there. There's Piastri, Norris, and Verstappen in the top 3 at the moment. Still the fastest lap here, Lando Norris, so he's doing really well. Now he goes on the inside of Max Verstappen. He is into the lead. Can he hold on to it? He comes around the corner. Max Verstappen's right up against him, but he will take the lead here. Or will he? Max Verstappen trying to get it back. He has got the lead. Lando Norris into the lead. Now he comes on the inside of Lando Norris. He will retake that place here on Max Verstappen. Very nice move. There comes Oscar Piastri on the inside of Lando Norris. And the two McLarens, side by side. Lando Norris just ahead of him going into the corner, just on the back of Max Verstappen here. Oscar Piastri into second place, by the way. Lando Norris up into first, now back down to third. And Oscar Piastri is going to try and hang on to Lando Norris now. What a move that is from the youngster. DRS down that straight over there. Carlos Sainz a bit further back, not really in contention at the moment. You can see both those McLarens with the DRS. Trying to catch Max Verstappen here early on the sprint. We're into our 6th lap of the moment. So about a quarter of the way through. Carlos Sainz not far behind. Neither are Russell and Hamilton. So a very interesting race at the moment. Going to the comments, JP said, no issue with the cars. Nobody seems to know. And the photographers in the wrong position. Alman Reese saying the sprints often throw some surprise as well. Here's this for a surprise. We have got McLaren in second of Oscar Piastri, but they're holding on to Max Verstappen, looking at that move again. That's amazing how Max Verstappen but Lando Norris in taking that first position actually did himself a bit of a disservice, went slightly wide and allowed Oscar Piastri to come through. And he said, thank you very much. I'll take second, shall I? They're busy fighting out. He comes on the inside. Here's Piastri. That was a really good work from Piastri. Actually, almost got it in behind got past Verstappen there, actually, as we come down that main stretch. Piastri's still right behind Max Verstappen. He is very much in striking distance. Now, there's Charles Leclerc, by the way. Verstappen saying, I'm clipping way too much. It's beep. Shit is what I'd assume it is. But I'll tell you what, Charles Leclerc has caught up to that group of Mercedes who are right behind Carlos Sainz. They're George Russell. Looking to try and get pressure, but now we're riding on board with Lewis Hamilton, who's got a Charles Leclerc behind him. Currently chasing Russell for 5th. Come on, Charles, let's get past these Mercedes here. Nothing else, because I'm a bit worried about Russell and Sainz at the moment. So Russell and Sainz is quite close. I mean, they're talking about Hamilton chasing Russell and fifth, but to be honest, there's actually a bit of a gap between Russell and as mentioned, there goes Russell on the outside of Carlos Sainz, which actually allows Lewis Hamilton to come on the inside of George Russell. Almost a bit of an issue, same situation with Lando Norris, where in trying to overtake, obviously you lose a couple of, and there goes George Russell on the inside of Carlos Sainz. Has he got the place? He has got the place. George Russell makes the move on Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz drops down into fifth place. Now, the big thing over here, now Charles Sainz going to have to fend off Lewis Hamilton. Will this allow Charles Leclerc to try and catch up to them and try and make a move? Having a look at the move here from George Russell on Carlos Sainz. He just has so much pace on him. So not going well. So there's a nice start for the Ferraris, but at the moment not going as well. Oscar Piastri has dropped a little bit further back. Max Verstappen not really in contention at the moment. Lando Norris a little bit further back than his teammate as well. Now here comes through. Got Carlos Sainz right up against George Russell. Looking to try and get that place back. And Charles Leclerc is not far behind those that Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton either. Right, here we go. Carlos Sainz and versus George Russell. I think this will be the main battle over the moment. Piastri not quite on Max Verstappen just yet. Lando Norris dropped a bit further back as well. So it's these three of Russell, Sainz, and Hamilton, which remain sort of the big competitions at the moment. Sergio Perez quite far behind Charles Leclerc, so I don't think he's going to be able to do much better than eighth. So a lot of championship points here on the line for the likes of McLaren, Mercedes, and Ferrari, who can all sort of start catching a little bit with the fact that Sergio Perez will score just a single point. So Carlos Sainz gets up fourth place, then that championship battle will continue. All cars there with the DRS. Lewis Hamilton right in behind Carlos Sainz there. Charles Leclerc just at the back there, just watching on at the moment. Right, so as I mentioned, this is basically really the back there. Russell, Sainz, and Hamilton. Charles Leclerc a little bit further back. Max Verstappen, Piastri out by themselves. Lando Norris sort of kind of dropped in between the middle of those two and the chasing pack. Then there's a bit of space between Perez and Magnussen as well. So the rest of the field pretty far behind. Max Verstappen at the moment looking feeling comfortable. I think he'll be settled into this race now. We're almost about the halfway mark. Remember that the race is down to 23 laps, not 24. Right, and that's the big news is that Oscar Piastri has fallen back enough to have lost the DRS. So Max Verstappen well out in front by himself. Right, let's look back further back. And the big news is that the Alpines, who started off pretty good this weekend, they're a bit further down. Magnussen and Stroll both up 2 positions. Yuki Tsunoda up 1 position. Daniel Ricciardo down 1. Logan Sargent down 1. Hulkenberg up 2. So the Haas's are both up 2 positions from when they started. And the Alpines both down 3. So as I was saying, the Alpines seem to be sort of getting themselves into the mix. They're a bit further back there. Fernando Alonso is coming down 1 position on Yuki Tsunoda, but is quite close And then a bit of a gap between Tsunoda and the two Alpines. Lance Stroll is up, as mentioned, 2 position, 10 position at the moment. He needs to try and catch. If they're going to try to score points, Max is going to have to try and catch Sergio Perez, which is not going to happen. There's a massive gap between them. But the fight does continue between Hamilton, Russell, Sainz, and Charles Leclerc. Seems to have caught Hamilton a little bit. So very, very close. All within a second of each other here. Sainz half a second behind Russell. Hamilton 0.8 seconds behind Sainz, and Leclerc 0.7 seconds behind Hamilton. So hopefully Sainz can try and get that that sort of second gap between him and Hamilton. Charles Leclerc can hopefully try and have a bit of a go at him. But at the moment, Max Verstappen very, very comfortable. Hello, Cora. Hope you're well. Welcome to the stream. Not a very tough-looking Alpine team over there. It's Jack Doohan on the screen, the reserve driver. One of their options for their seat next season. Now that's the Alpine of Gasly. There we go. Ocon, actually. It's a bit of team racing there. We have 11 laps left, people. 11 laps. So far, Max Verstappen in the lead. Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris coming up behind him to compete that podium. Then we've got George Russell, who's a good 2 seconds behind Norris, actually. So quite a big gap there. And Carlos Sainz trying to stay with Russell, then Hamilton, then Leclerc, then Perez. And at the moment, the last one in the points is Sergio Perez. So Magnussen and then Stroll behind them will not score points. Remember, it's only the top 8 who score points in the sprint. Is he riding on board with one of the Alpines here? I think this is Pierre Gasly. Both the Alpines down 3 places from where they started. So it's not been a particularly good race for them at the moment. They'll have to try and catch up to Lance Stroll and Kevin Magnussen, who come through very strongly so far. Welcome, Vernon. Les Green saying, let's go, Max. Teresa saying, what's happening with Perez? He's just a bit nowhere, to be honest. Not really hanging on to the pack. Further back by himself. He's got his own race at the moment. This is the problem. I said, I reckon that the Drivers' Championship is all but tied up. I don't see Max Verstappen losing it. But I genuinely think the Constructors' Championship could be a very, very interesting battle this season. Right, Lando Norris is a little bit faster than Oscar Piastri during that lap here. He has the fastest lap here, does Lando Norris. So trying to sort of chase down his teammate, trying to get himself up to second place. Valuable points in that Drivers' Championship up for grabs, so he can try and first of all open a bit of gap between him and Charles Leclerc down 7th, but also just try and stay a bit closer to Max Verstappen. As you're looking over there, Lando Norris obviously with the DRS. Down that straight between 3 and 4. Still no movement, though, in that sort of middle pack of Russell, Sainz, Hamilton. Charles Leclerc has dropped back a little bit as well, so really can't compete at the moment with Hamilton. 9 laps left as Lando Norris tries to hunt down his teammate. Right, 0.7 seconds behind is Lando Norris. Oscar Piastri not far behind at all. Yeah, I reckon these two McLarens will be the two fastest. Well, I think Max Verstappen probably for me expects to be on pole, but I reckon we're going to see a very similar grid later in general qualifying. I don't see too many people besides Max Verstappen competing with these two McLarens who are out by themselves in behind Max Verstappen. Lando Norris really close now on Oscar Piastri. And Max Verstappen 2 seconds ahead. He's cruising at the front. And we look at Daniel Ricciardo. And then get past the Williams of Logan Sargent. So he's up to 16th, which is where he started. Right, 2.5 seconds between Oscar Piastri and Max Verstappen. So the race all but gone here with 7 laps left. But Lando Norris still needs to try and catch his teammate. Can Carlos Sainz resist any sort of challenge from Hamilton? Charles Leclerc's dropped a bit further back. I don't see him really having a go at Hamilton. And Sergio Perez will probably be the final one in the points in 8th position there. But you can see them two McLarens neck and neck at the moment. There's a plane saying, Lewis, it's hammer time. And All Man Roo saying Perez is having an ordinary drive so far. Yeah, it just doesn't seem to have the same pace that Max Verstappen has. But Carlos Sainz hanging in on there between the two for Mercedes and Charles Leclerc. For whatever reason, just doesn't seem to have quite the same pace as his teammate. Right, as Max Verstappen comes down that straight over there, you can see the battle over there for second place. Lando Norris obviously with the DRS. Oscar Piastri well back, doesn't have the benefit of that. But at the moment, hanging on here is Oscar Piastri. Then comes the Mercedes of George Russell, followed by Carlos Sainz, and then Lewis Hamilton. And a bit further back is Charles Leclerc, and then finally Checo Perez in the point at the moment. Lewis Hamilton putting a lot of pressure now all of a sudden on Carlos Sainz. Russell's actually gone inside within a second ahead, so I think it's a bit of a mistake from Carlos Sainz. Just dropped back a little bit, and now under some serious pressure from Lewis Hamilton. But we're busy watching the battle for second, which is between the two McLarens. Not a lot of time left at the moment, just 6 laps. Talking about 7-8 minutes here. So Piastri not as fast as Lando Norris, but Lando Norris not really catching him at the moment. So it's an interesting battle over here. He's got the benefit of DRS, which Oscar Piastri doesn't, but still hasn't been able to get past his teammates. So Oscar Piastri holding firm so far in second place. What a result that would be for him. But the McLaren team in general will be so chuffed with what they're seeing out there. Hamilton right on the back of Carlos Sainz at the moment. Carlos Sainz desperately holding on. He has to hold on for another 5 laps. And there we go. Oh, now looking at Lewis Hamilton. Almost back to a second, actually. So Sainz has actually held him off pretty well so far. Charles Leclerc, well further back than that. He won't have a chance of getting anywhere near Hamilton. Yeah, so I think George Russell's pretty comfortable there in 4th place. It's whether that Hamilton can catch Carlos Sainz for 5th place. But running out of a bit of time here, only 4 laps left. Right, 0.6 seconds at the moment, the gap between Carlos Sainz and Lewis Hamilton. 4 laps left. Just hold on, Carlos. Just hold on. So at the moment, the Red Bull in first, then two McLarens, and then a Ferrari separating the two Mercedes before another Ferrari, and then finally in the points, Sergio Perez at the moment. Ocon Gasly putting a bit of pressure on Lance Stroll, and Daniel Ricciardo right up against Hülkenberg at the moment. Those are the current battles, as well as Bottas apparently putting a lot of pressure on Alexander Albon. But no points down there in the bottom of that fight. Right, 3 laps left. Verstappen's got this really tied up. I don't know what's going to catch him, really. But might yet see a bit of a battle second. Speaking of battles, that's Lewis Hamilton right up against Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz has to try and hold on. Yeah, 3 more laps for him. Going to be 3 very long laps for him. So remember, we will be live once again at 4 o'clock for the official qualifying for tomorrow's race. And Ricciardo up into 15th place, by the way, overtakes Fernando Alonso and right up against Hülkenberg. He's riding on board of Nico Hülkenberg as he gets past Alonso there. Hülkenberg up 3 places, by the way. So he had a nice drive so far. Alonso having to go wide there, actually. That's a massive stuff for him. You can see why he lost those 2 places. I don't think we're going to see Lando Norris catch Piastri, by the way, with 2 laps left, or basically 1.5, really. Coming around turn 9, going into turn 10 for the final lap at the moment. Max Verstappen well ahead, 4-second gap, and that doesn't bode well for the rest of the teams as he does go past that final straight into the final lap. The battle for second is continuing, but I don't think we're going to see Lando Norris take Oscar Piastri. I think that'll remain. And Sainz also seems to have opened up enough of a gap to be able to hold on for 1 more lap on Lewis Hamilton. So I think what we're seeing on the screen is what we're going to get here. I don't think we're going to see any other changes. Race control, Hülkenberg Alonso incident, forcing another driver off the track has been noted by the stewards. Max Verstappen going through turn 7. Lando Norris still desperately trying to get past Oscar Piastri, but not going to happen this lap. So I think what we're seeing is what we're going to get here. Max Verstappen going through the second to last corner. Well, he only didn't lead the lap for about half a lap. And Max Verstappen does come through in first place. Second place will be Oscar Piastri. What a drive that is for him. Lando Norris down 3rd place from when he started. George Russell coming in at 4th. Carlos Sainz at 5th. Lewis Hamilton coming in at 6th. Then we've got Charles Leclerc and Sergio Perez. Great drive, really, to be honest, from Charles Leclerc, who's started in 10th. And come up 3 places to finish in 7th. Sergio Perez will be under a bit of pressure. Not his best drive. He's down 1 position from where he started and doesn't seem to have the pace that Max Verstappen has. All right, so your F1 Sprint winner is Max Verstappen. As the final few cars come across that line there, Alonso, Sargent, Albon, Bottas, and Zhou Guanyu, who's had a bit of a nightmare weekend throughout, continues to struggle in that kick Sauber. People, thank you very much for joining me. That has been the F1 Sprint. We'll be back later with qualifying at 4 o'clock, so don't miss it. But yeah, the big news is that Max Verstappen has won over there. Lando Norris coming in at third, and Oscar Piastri is up a position to first. So your big drivers there. Charles Leclerc getting 3 positions in that race. Kevin Magnussen and Lars Stroll going up 2 positions. Hulkenberg as well with 3 positions. So both Haas actually putting in a decent performance in that race. Will we see Max Verstappen on pole once again later? We'll have to find out in a little bit. But until then, smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steve. I'll chat to you soon.